for the players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And this is For the Players, the pop culturist PlayStation podcast. Over 20 years of playing PlayStation and 12 plus years in that games media. But I'd like to thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to join us in future conversations, you can. Come and check out our socials, Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and X. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopculturist, where you can watch us record this show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation pod. And if you are listening to us on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculturist, as well as our merchandise store, popculture.com/shop, where you can buy shirts, other sorted shit with our logos on it. Man, it is like absolutely so much easier to do that when it's someone else to help me. Because like we have done I have done 350 something episodes. You've done 200 of them. Like I'm so accustomed to like throwing it back to you and me, and like even when with last week's episode, like trying to do the news or whatever, and I'm like, I have thoughts. I'm like, and where's Max? Oh shit, he's not here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm still. You can hear it in my voice. I'm still crook.
Oh, I'm right on the precipice of being crook. So like, let's see where we go.
Ali's still feeling gnarly. It's crazy. We've all been sick for like 2.5 weeks now. What feels like 2.5 weeks.
Do you know what it is, or it's just some good old sickness?
So we had those fancy COVID tests for like
the triple barrel boys,
AB and RSV. Yeah. Ali tested negative to everything. Went to a doctor and they're like, "It's probably just a viral infection. Just deal with it."
Sweet.
I'm like, "Ooh,
rad. Thanks, man. Much appreciated."
So like none of us have had fevers, but we've all got like this gnarly cough, blocked sinuses. So yeah, it hasn't been fun with like 2 sick kids, and all the kids want is mum when they're sick, and all Ali wants is like rest because she's dying.
Yeah, they want is mum, and all mum wants is them to fuck off. You know, it's like the tough balance. But like.
Oh yeah, it's been rough.
I feel that, right? As I said, I'm pretty sure I'm on the precipice of being sick, and I always am, because like I have my immunosuppressants every day, so like I can tell when they wear off because the immune system then kicks back in, and I start going at like 5 PM until I go to till later, and like I just want to die, and so like I'm pretty sure like I am there, if not already sick, and I'm just fighting it. And it's very likely that I'm the one that made everybody else sick. Maybe not you, because we haven't been in close proximity, but like Ange, my housemate's sick, Craig's sick, Phoebe's not sick, thank Christ. I said most certainly am. So I feel the only consistent thread, because like Ange lives here, goes to work, comes back, and that's kind of it, because they don't have a car, so they don't drive anywhere. They just kind of, there's 2 places that they hang out, because he's working with Ethan at the moment over at Tag Mods. Ethan's fine. All the other people that are helping them do pack stuff, they're fine. It's just them. So I'm like, shit, it's me. I am patient zero. Which is probably my son. I'm patient.
Maybe it's the asymptomatic Phoebe.
Oh, the sickness was coming from inside the house. It was happening all this whole time. Damn, what a twist. What a bitch.
Oh, damn. I was hoping she was like sitting in the room above you.
Oh, no. She's watching in the other side of the house. So, like, I'm probably going to.
I was hoping she was going to be like just above you, and I just see something fall from the.
Just. There's instant, like, good old concussion. No, I'll probably get punched on it.
She's just sitting there with a fucking straw and some paper.
Just hocking loogies at me with, like, her full of sickness loogies from the landing above me. But like in that 2 weeks off, apart from being unwell, like what have you done? Has it just simply been like
nothing,
trying not to die?
Sick. Yeah, it's been trying not to die.
Nice.
It's been gnarly. I haven't really done anything. No one's wanted to go out because we've all been sick. We haven't seen anyone. I haven't done anything. I've just been playing games.
Isn't it kind of insane? Like, so my son, as I said, he's got like a little cough at the moment. But he's had a cough for months. I feel like it's just this perpetual thing because he's 7 and goes to school. But like whooping cough has become a huge thing. So like literally the night before, the school sends out their little newsletter in the app thingy that goes, hey, whooping cough is around. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Next morning, 9:30, I get a call from the school. You can pick up James. He's coughing everywhere. I'm like, motherfucker, like, we just read the thing. Okay. And he's fine.
Well, it's funny. So we obviously kept Hadley home from kinder because she was sick. And on the second day Hadley was at home, we get a notification on the app going like, can you keep your fucking kids at home when they're sick? There has been rampant sickness running through the centre. And I'm like, fuck's sake. So on Thursday of last week, it was the first time Hadley went to kinder in like a week and a half. And she's like, oh, I really want to go to kinder. It's my show and tell day. I'm feeling better. She hadn't been coughing. She seemed all right. She gets in the car. She's like, Dad, I need to blow my nose. Okay, no worries. I blew her nose.
Fluorescent green?
Green. And I'm like, you should probably come back inside. And then she fucking threw a tantrum. And I'm like, fine, let's just go. We'll see what happens. And she was fine. She just needed to blow that chunk out of her nose and she was good to go.
Yeah, so Millie, James's mum, my son's mum. So like she dropped him off at school like because he was off all week. After I picked him up on Monday, off all week, went back Friday, and she was like, because they just arrived on the bell, so he legged it to class. And I got this message being like, James just ran to class. I assure you, he's going to cough. Should I just stay in the car park? I'm like, yes. Because, like, you're probably going to get a call in, like, 5 minutes being like, hey, James is back and he's already coughing on a kid. Can you please come pick him up? She's like, cool, I'm outside. I thought that would be a good way to go about it. But, yeah, so other than that, like, I'm the same as you, dude. Like, it's been a pretty chill week. In the new place, as I mentioned last week, most things are starting to settle in. Like to my left or to the right of the screen is my little corner over here. That way, I said that's where all my mini stuff is. I'm in the desperate need to get a table because I'm sick of looking at that pile of shit. I want to get it. I want to make the pile of shit onto a table. So just be a table with a pile of shit on it, and that at least looks slightly better. That's what I'm hoping for. But most things are getting there. Like the kitchen got cleared up. I didn't do it. I was hanging out with James. Phoebe's little spaces are going great. Ange went hunkered down in the garage today, so like we've actually can move around in there. Still, we probably won't be able to get my car in there yet, but we're in the process. So it's going well. It's going well. But you mentioned that instead you've just been sort of playing games. What have you been playing? Actually, before we start that, we did mention this on Twitters. Both Max and I, we are playing AstroBot thanks to PlayStation Australia. Can't talk about it, but there will be a video review. There probably a spoiler-free and a spoiler-filled, as well as a Let's Play with my son and myself. That'll be dropping Thursday night at 10 p.m. Maybe not all at once, but maybe all at once. I don't know.
We may blow our load all at once. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it checks out. Like we might do like the spoiler-free and the Let's Play. We might drop the spoiler review maybe a day later, a couple of days later, just so people can enjoy the game. Because obviously the big part of the AstroBot series has been its references, acknowledgements, and the last thing we want to do is fuck that up for people. So just letting you know that's coming. Very keen to talk about it. Very keen to do a bunch of things. But Max, as I rudely interrupted you, what you playing?
So all of I'll start things with last week. So all of last week, I played an absolute cosmic fuckload of Diablo IV.
Still.
It has, for whatever reason, like reinvigorated my need to grind. I've actually just been helping out random people. So there's a Discord Discord server that I'm a part of. And there's a section in there that offers free carries for like end game content or helping people level or any of that stuff. So I've kind of just been jumping into that. Be like, hey, there's nothing I can't solo this season. Okay. If you need anything cleared, if you need anything done, if you need help leveling, whatever, hit me up and we'll do it.
Well,
So
that's very
I've got,
altruistic of you.
I've got like thousands of boss kills under my belt this season because I'm just getting clears for people. I'm just chilling. My build's pretty much complete at this point. It's now just like finding that perfect piece of gear that it's like a 1 in a million drop, and that'll make me slightly stronger than I currently am. But like, there's literally nothing I can't do at this point. So I think for now I'm done with it. I've made about 4 or 5 characters this season. They're all max level now. They're all geared. They're all ready to go. So that's been fun. This week, I was lucky enough to be provided a code for Visions of Mana thanks to the team at Bandai Namco Australia. I received this on Friday afternoon. I think it when it launched Friday morning. I got a code Friday afternoon. So I have played the prologue and part of the way through Chapter 1. So Visions of Mana is the latest in the, I think it's near on 30-year long series.
Oh yeah, no, it's literally about to hit its 30th. Yeah,
like it's fucking crazy. So in this game, you are playing as one of the soul guards for the newly created Elms. The Elms are people who once every 4 years or once every cycle, essentially they are chosen to. From memory, because I'm not too far into this one yet, and I haven't quite gotten into it yet. I believe they essentially go and visit the mana tree and essentially reset the world, or like heal what's ailing it.
Oh, that's
so you're the guardian to help them through their pilgrimage and make sure they reach their final destination and can fix everything.
Sick.
I love the graphic design style of this. It's that cel-shaded, very anime-esque style.
But like my question, because with that being such a prominent art style for most of these games, like I remember the Attack on Titan game, like that Fairy Tail game, like it's cel-shaded, but it also looks like garbage. Is this a
no?
Okay,
this looks significantly better. And it has.
Oh, okay. God, then you'd be like, no, it's just as garbage.
No,
okay, I'm glad it's better.
The issue is. With those things is because they're based on an IP, and I have the same problem with the Dragon Ball Z games a lot of the time.
Yeah, they also look like poo too. Yeah.
It's because you're used to seeing them one way in an animation style, and then they're getting shifted across to a different artistic style, and there's that uncanny valleyness of like, you're not quite supposed to look like this, and we have a baseline of what you should look like, and this is what we expect, but this is not what we're getting. Whereas because this is a fresh IP, well, not a fresh IP, but like a known, the new characters and whatnot.
Yeah, there's no preconceived notion heading in.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, exactly.
Actually, that makes sense because, like, Dragon Ball Fighters, with being a like 2D fighter, like it looks substantially better. It looked fantastic. It looked like you're playing the anime, so that was pretty cool. Okay, so I get that. Okay, cool.
So yeah, I haven't dove too deep into that because, as you mentioned, we were lucky enough to also receive a code for AstroBot the same day.
Yeah, so Mute in the chat does ask, please tell me how Visions of Mana is it recommended full price? So I guess at the moment you can't really speak to it.
I can't speak to it at the moment. Keep an eye on my socials. I'll post some stuff on Twitter throughout the week as I'm
links in the description, also under our faces on Twitter.
But there is a demo out. It's available. It's been out for a while. It's a good starting point to get a feel for it. The demo is quite lengthy. You can do a fair bit. There's a few boss battles. Kind of gives you it does give you a feel for it.
So so just to answer me, like we'll have an answer next week.
Yeah, I'll definitely have an answer next week. I hope to have this finished by next week. But yeah, I think I've put maybe like 2 or 3 hours into it, so I wouldn't be comfortable being like, yes, this is definitely worth the cost of a full price game, because I can't speak to it at the moment.
Well, something you can.
I am having a blast with it.
Something you can speak to, because I touched upon this last week, obviously, talking about it solo. Star Wars Outlaws. Now, granted, we've had a couple of games come in since, but you've jumped into it as well. I shared my first thoughts. What are your first thoughts?
So I'm pretty sure I've said it on the pod before. The thing I most like about Star Wars games, because I'm not a huge Star Wars guy. Like I'm not a fan of the movies. I don't geek out about it. I don't know the lore and the canon. I watch the TV shows, but I play the games. The games are fun because I get to be a lightsaber wielding Jedi. I get to use space magic. I get all that cool stuff. That part of the world excites me and interests me. That's cool. And this is like this. I thought about it over the week. I'm like, this. The best way to describe this for me as I'm playing it is I'm playing an MMORPG, and my class is villager. I have no special powers. I'm just a fucking dude. I may as well be a merchant. Never leaves the town.
Fuck, that popped me. That was really good.
So, I am not having a great time with this. And granted, I'm not the target audience. I went in knowing that I'm like, if I have the choice of being fucking Jedi or Han Solo, I'm picking Jedi every time. But they've been like, nah, dude, you're Han Solo this time. I'm like, no,
yeah, but you're not. Like, it's not because Han Solo is a good character.
The gunplay is pretty average. Like, I'm playing only in stealth. Like, everything I seem to do has to be done in stealth, because if you get seen, it kicks you back to a checkpoint.
Now, we're only in early days, so apparently that does expand as you get further in the game. Like, you can have the turn of a beat and it won't be an instant cancellation. I'm yet to see that, so fuck it until I can see it.
I've run into a few bugs. If you do stealth takedowns on stairs, you fall through the map.
Actually, you sent me a video of that. It was dope.
Multiple times. Like, it wasn't just a one-off. I've done that multiple times. That was fun. It's just, and the main character is so boring. Just anything that gets thrown at, she's like, whatever, I'll do it. It's like, I'm gonna work for this person to get money. Oh, they've double crossed me. Oh, they need a favor from me. Okay, I'll just do that for them. You know.
Yeah, I mentioned it last week. It's like it's this.
You just let everyone walk all over you, and you just roll with it. Like, there's no, and like, it's this weird that there's like a lack of agency. Like, because in the game it has this inbuilt system of factions, essentially, of like, you know, build your relationship with the factions and you'll be able to unlock more stuff. But again, we are early, and I understand that, but it seems like there's nothing to. It doesn't matter at all at the start, and it's just a real shame. Like, I can see the potential in it, but again, because for me, it's just not fun because I don't get to do the things that I find fun in Star Wars.
See, because once again, to expand on things I mentioned last week, right? So, you've expanded on, like, you mirror my point around the main character. Like, Kay Vess, like, she could be cool, and it's nothing about her being a female.
She could literally be one of, like, it could just be a mannequin, a faceless mannequin. You wouldn't know the difference because there is no emotion from that character whatsoever. She's just bland and boring. So it wouldn't matter if the role was played by a male or a female. It has nothing to do with that. It's just the fact that there doesn't seem to be any depth to that character at all. You kind of just like, whatever. You're like the human equivalent of a shoulder shrug.
Because I mentioned it last week, right? Like, it feels like they took the criticisms of, like, Rey and, you know, these sort of, what are they called? Mary Sue characters. Mary Sue? Yeah. Like, these characters can just do fucking anything straight away. I feel like they've gone the other direction. And as a result, they've left with a character that is kind of nothing. And especially in those opening sequences, like, she just seems like an utter nuisance to everyone, like, just an annoyance, and just her presence is just frustrating because she has no clear competencies. As you mentioned, like, she takes on all this work and has this, like, I would say, like, an unearned, like, it's not even unearned arrogance, right? Because the unearned arrogance implies that she could, like, do something, but, like, it feels like she's like, yeah, I'll just do it. There's, especially in those early discussions, she's like, like, give me the big job. I can do the big job. And the guy's like, you can't do the fucking big job. You just, like, fucked up my bar. Like, and you think you can handle this big job? She's like, yeah. And, like, no. Like,
Nyx is cool.
Nyx is rad. Control's like ass, but Nyx is rad. All the little plushies that I've seen across socials this week. Oh, adorable. It even, like, everything feels so surface level, right? There doesn't feel to be any greater depth in any of the things. Like, I still hate the lockpicking, and it doesn't change. And then this has also been reaffirmed in like other reviews and whatnot.
I want to get to the point that everyone's talking about, because I've seen a lot of people.
Yeah, there's like towards the back end, right? Turns.
And everyone's like, it's like a Red Dead Redemption in space. I'm like, I'm not getting that at all.
No, because I like Red Dead Redemption.
I can't hog tie anyone to the back of my speeder.
Yeah, I don't have tuberculosis. Like, what? This isn't like, what the hell? But yeah, like it feels like it could, it should. It feels like great potential, right? It feels like a bunch of great ideas that they left it as ideas. They delivered on the idea and then went, "Are we going to make it better, bigger, and expand it?" No, not really. Like, it feels like a perfect example of a 7 out of 10. Or I guess a 5, really. If you want to talk about like 5, 6 out of 10, like, it's good. What it does is fine. Like, it's just like there's nothing remarkable about it. It is sufficient.
Yeah.
So, like, off the back of Gamescom last week, Outlaws I thought was going to be the one for me. It didn't really sing to me. So I was looking around and sort of thinking, what could I play? We didn't know AstroBot was in the close horizon. We expected it probably around launch. So we didn't, we're like not holding out, like, as we do whenever we're very lucky to receive codes. We never, expect it. We didn't plan for it. We say, if it happens, it happens. If not, it's launch day. So I was like, all right, I've got about a week and a half. What am I going to do? After watching Gamescom, where they announced Borderlands 4, I was like, oh, maybe I could do Borderlands. I'm like, maybe I don't, because Borderlands 3 was kind of poo. Maybe I could do Tiny Tina's. Not kind of the energy I'm feeling right now. I want a story-driven game, perhaps. And then, of course, they announced the next Mafia game from Hangar 13, which is Mafia the Old Country. I was like, you know what? I never really dipped my toes into Mafia 3, because at the time, 2K very kindly sent us the cool collector's edition, and I was like, yeah, sick, I'll play this. And I played it for about a couple hours, and then I got distracted by some other game that I had to review. I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'll come back to that. And the irony of me doing it again is I booted up, I played 2 hours, and then I got the email, like, literally, it was like, hey, AstroBot. I'm like, damn it. All right.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm like, well, sorry, Mafia 3, looks like you're getting pushed to the side again. But for a game that came out in 2016, 2017, it still looks great. I love the facial animations, the delivery of the main story in terms of the cutscenes are sort of interviews. Like, you're getting, the future conversations. It's kind of like mid 2000s is kind of where they're ending, in the 2000 window, and then you're flashing back to the 60s. You play Lincoln Clay, an African American gentleman who just come back from the Vietnam War. You're in New Orleans, so it's like rampant with racism and all that stuff. So it's really kind of an interesting way to sort of play that time. And even in the splash screen when the game opens up, when you click the, go in the new game, it's like, hey, we wanted to tell this story about this particular time with these particular individuals, and although we disagree with everything that is said, we understand that what is said in this game is reflective of the times. So we do apologize if this offends you, but we wanted to deliver that authentic experience. So that hence why, it's essentially them going, racist shit's gonna get said, right? Because you're a black man in the South in the 60s, it's gonna go bad for you. So I really quite like that as a concept. The game's got cool systems. I really enjoyed Mafia 1 and 2 because we played those remasters a couple of years ago. I found 1...
They were banger masters.
Yeah, 2 was good, but because it was replicating so beautifully the original, it had a lot of that empty open world stuff that didn't really land for me. Because I really loved the heavy linear delivery of Mafia 1. So I was hoping that in Mafia 3, they'll sort of, expand on everything that Mafia 2 had to offer. It shows an open world, like fill it with some density, give some really cool stuff. And I still don't know whether that's the case because I've only played it for a couple of hours because then I got distracted because it's like I'm full of ADHD or something. I just find the thing that'll give me more dopamine. But once AstroBot is done and dusted, once that review is out, because I don't know what else is around the corner. I know like Space Marine 2's out soon, and like I wouldn't mind fucking with that.
That looks so good.
Yeah, it looks dope. Apparently, it's like I imagine it's from what we've seen. I think what the rumblings and previews. It's like God of War. It's like Gears of War, but with Space Marines. Like, yeah, give me that because I enjoyed the PS3 one. I played that quite a bit, so it's pretty good. But other than that, like, what else have I played? Oh, I've been playing, more of that Tavern Manager Simulator. My little fantasy tavern is doing wonders. I've expanded and I've got this lovely little thing. What else? I played the demo of TCG Shop Simulator. So it's someone's kind of essentially taken the bones of Supermarket Simulator and wrapped it in a trading card. Like the idea is you own a card store. It's dumb, and I enjoy that. It's a lot of fun. Because you get to open packs and you can sell individual cards, but also sell boxes, and you can sell deodorant, which is probably a really good idea. Let me see what else is in my recently played. Yeah, that's it. Oh, speaking of though, like Astro, so they announced. I'm not sure it's in the news or not. That in leading up to AstroBot, Astro's Playroom has been updated to have some new gear in it. So like the PlayStation Portal, etc., PSVR 2, they're all in there now. Additionally, there are 4 VIP bots that you unlock, and then they come across to the game. Now, I booted up Playroom, and went, "Oh, where's my save?" Forgetting that I let my son and my partner start in the game. I'm like, "Hey, you guys will enjoy this. Have fun." I got the platinum. I don't care. Have fun. And then I boot it up, and it's only the first zone. I'm like, "You son bitch!" Like, I want those 4 VIP characters. Am I once I finish AstroBot, am I gonna have to fucking bum rush Playroom to like get it?
I'm not bothering because obviously I platinumed Playroom on my account, but I'm playing. I'm playing Figure on the PopC account.
Yeah, true.
So it's not going to carry across. I'm not playing AstroBot again. I can't be bothered.
Yeah, I think I'm like
they are doing a launch party inside the Playroom.
That I also want to see. So essentially, so the team of Sobi announced that kind of leading up the last couple hours until the launch of AstroBot, they're doing this sort of party in Playroom, and I'm like, I gotta kind of see that. That sounds dope. So that's another reason why I like reinstalled it, and I was like a bit bummed that I have to run it again, but. If I enjoy AstroBot enough, like maybe I will still be inclined to then go mess about in Playroom again. Plus, I like collecting little trinkets, and I kind of want the Portal, and I want the VR, and I'll just have to back up my save on a stick. Because I can't put it in the cloud because it'll get replaced, and it only has 1 save slot, so I'll need to keep it separate. But anyways, that's enough blabber on about other nonsense. Let's get to the section we call.
Before we move on. I also played Black Ops 6 this week.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck? Why didn't you mention that earlier?
Because I played 1 round. I'm like, this is fucking so shit.
All right. Beautiful. Well, I want you to give me a... okay, just for fun. I want to set this up. Let's create the premise. Deliver to me your review of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 as if you've played the entire fucking game and this is your complete and final thoughts on it, but you've only played 1 match in the closed beta. Go.
Just wait. So I'll start from the very beginning.
Yes.
Okay. I go to install the beta, and because I'm playing through Games Pass on PC, it's like, hey, we recommend that you download Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, Modern Warfare 3 campaign.
Oh, because they have the HQ thing now, don't they?
Yeah. We recommend you download Warzone. We recommend you download the Black Ops 6 beta. Is that cool with you? It's like 250 gig. I'm like, no, that's not cool with me. I'll just have the beta, thank you. Uncheck all the boxes. And it goes from like 200 gig to 30. I'm like, cool. It downloads. And I open it, And it's like, nope, sorry, your drivers are...
Hi, you're missing everything that we said was recommended, not required, so you fucked up.
So I opened my NVIDIA app, update my driver, restart my computer, boot it up.
Oh, damn.
Please log in to your Activision account. Okay, no worries. Where's the sign-in via PlayStation Network? Because it's linked. Sorry, we don't have that option. You need to know your email address and password. Okay, no worries. Turns out it's linked to an old fucking Gmail account.
Oh no!
Not my Hotmail account. PlayStation's linked to. And I'm like, okay, I'll just recover password. It's like, we'll send you a text message to a phone number that ends in something 22. I'm like,
who the hell is that?
I'm like, oh, that's my phone from like 15 years ago. Can I unlock you another way? And Google's like, no, sorry, can't provide enough information to prove that it's you. I'm like, well, I guess it's lost forever.
Oh,
make a new Activision account.
I remember back when Diablo IV came out, I had to hunt down like my unlock my Blizzard account because I was connected to an authenticator app that no longer exists.
Mm-hmm. I had to send Square Enix a fucking copy of my driver's license.
I did the same for fucking Blizzard. They were like, hey, can you provide proof of purchase? I'm like, fuckers, I bought like Lich King in fucking 2005, like we're about 2008, right? 2009. I'm like, it's 2024. I found them when I moved, by the way. Oops. I was like, I got nothing. I've got these old emails that like I tried to change my password in 2009 or something. Like, does that count? And I was like, I pretty much had to like cut my hand, bleed, put it in an envelope, and send it to them. Like that was literally the next step. And then they did it. And like, yeah, sure, here you go. The authentication removed. I'm like, yeah, cool, I don't care anymore. And I haven't done anything with it. It's just like I put all this effort in. I'm like, fuck them.
I'm just making a new account. Like whatever, doesn't matter. Make a new account.
I wouldn't do that. Fuck that.
And then it boots up Call of Duty HQ, and it's like, would you like to launch Black Ops 6? I'm like, yes.
That's why I'm here.
So it closes the HQ application and boots up the Black Ops 6 application.
So then why did you need the HQ application?
But, I don't know, nor do I really care, because it hard crashed and gave me error messages all over my screen. I'm like, cool, it's a fucking solid start, loving this.
Your review for this game so far is exceptional.
So I crack the shit to turn the computer off. I come back about 3 hours later when my son goes down for his next nap. I'm like, okay, I'm going to fucking get this done. Open it up. Open Black Ops 6. Takes like 5 minutes on my rig to open Black Ops 6, by the way. What a fucking joke that is, because my dumbass installed it to a hard drive and not a solid state drive. Because it's so big.
Oh, yeah, because it's ginormous.
And it's like, do you want to play the tutorial? You play the fucking training grounds.
I'll do the omnidirectional.
We've got new movement. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm playing on mouse and keyboard, so I should probably play the fucking training ground game. Because I normally play on console. I'm used to using a controller. Like, cool. Sprint forward. I'm like, okay, I can sprint forward. It's like, nailed it. Sprint to the right.
Yes. A fucking champion.
It's like, sprint to the right. I'm like, okay, sprint's right. Sprint left. Sprint left.
I'm fucking good at this game.
And then it gives me the hardest fucking thing to do it in my entire life. It's like, dive to the right and shoot the target. I'm like, whoa, you've lost me.
Calm down, Call of Duty.
Because I'm playing on basic controls, it's like, to sprint, push shift. To dive, push control.
Oh, how the fuck are you going to do that? Hang on. Oh, that is a prick. Well, yeah, dude, it'd be even better if they said, can you jump to the left? Because that would require all, like, 3 of your, like that's your forward, there's your A, there's your shift, there's your control. Like, that would be exceptional.
So it takes me about a minute to try and work out how to dive to the right with my left hand, right?
As you're, like, throwing up accidental gang signs as you're trying to, like, work out how to play this fucking game.
And then it's like, you didn't shoot the target. Try again. And I'm like, whoa, how about I just quit? I'm never going to dive to the right in my life when I'm playing this on.
Oh, that fucking rules.
I'm going to do it.
Oh, that...
I'm playing...
That is the best review of this game. So if I haven't finished yet, this is incredible.
So I beat a match up, and because I'm level 1 and everyone else is like level 30 because they're all cheating scum, because it's rampant with hackers already and open beta.
Closed beta.
Closed beta, sorry. So I picked one of the default classes. I've got a submachine gun. I can run around really fast. I'm like, I picked it because it had a knife as an actual weapon. I'm like, cool, this is my jam. And I went in knowing I was going to be shit because I can't aim for shit.
Well, because you can't dive and shoot a target, man.
Turns out I'm all right. I went positive.
Nice.
And I quit because I won. So I've got like a 4 KD. And I'll never fucking play it again. People die so quick. The time to kill is atrocious.
Yeah,
it's so fast. It's just.
But as in, like, is it the speed which? Because it's a time to kill. Like, I always find with Call of Duty, like, the time for me to die is fucking instantaneous. The time for me to kill anybody else seems to take years, and I don't know why.
Dude, some guy was running at me shooting an SMG, and I stabbed him in the face with my knife. Like, either people have gotten really bad since last time I played, because I haven't played for a very long time. Or like it's just weird.
See, it's funny that you mentioned that. So I was listening to a podcast today, as I do, and it was Sacred Symbols, and Chris Reagan was talking about Concord, right? Now Concord's kind of like shit, but it's also really good. But he goes, but the fact that it's dead works to its advantage, right? Like if you're used to playing Call of Duty or like Valorant or whatever, or Apex or whatever, like it's full of sweaty people, like sweaty cheaters, right? And like those people are busy over there. They ain't playing fucking Concord. So like go play Concord, because if you're like a casual or you're like mid levels, like you'll actually have a good time because it's not full of dickheads.
Look, don't get me wrong, the Omni movement system is fucking sweet. I enjoy being able to sprint and strafe at the same time. Like that is a cool addition to the game. And I reckon it's going to be really awesome when I play fucking zombies, and that's all I'm ever playing. Because all I give a shit about in Call of Duty anymore is zombies. The new zombies looks great. They've gone back to round-based stuff. It looks fucking awesome. I can't wait.
I'm still bad.
But multiplayer too is just way too multiplayer is just way too fucking. It's just way too sweaty for my liking. I'm too old to try that hard.
Absolutely.
Purple.
My hair's turned. Oh, I was doing the weird thing again.
Yeah, I just noticed. You sat back up and your hair, the front hairline's purple. I'm like, that looks rad.
Yeah. I'll quickly snap a pic of me because, like, you know,
I don't have my phone.
And how am I supposed to style my hair, Max?
I don't know. Just that, like, exactly how you have now, but with a violet tinge in the front.
Is it like fully? So for those of you playing at home, sometimes on Discord, for whatever reason, it just wigs the shit out, and for like the colors get all jacked up. It's fine here on like my end. It's fine on the recording.
It's actually just the roots of your hair is purple. The rest of it's still
all up in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But everything else is still dark. You just got like a tinge of violet.
Ooh. Okay. As someone that's you fucking rule. Sorry, my partner's bought tissues and I've been snorting shit this whole time.
But yeah, that is my one and done review of Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
That is an exceptional review. I'm going to mute myself. Can you please talk for a second while I blow the front of my face out?
as I cough, yeah, sure. But yeah, like I said before, zombies is my go-to. And I'm not playing multiplayer anymore. No. I just can't do it. My reaction time is just so asshole that there's just some tweaker 12-year-old just gonna fucking wreck my day.
And like I think, you know, as you mentioned, right, like, you know, it's already full of rampant like hackers and stuff. And I think because they kind of decided to sort of bring everything together into like this Call of Duty HQ, that once someone cracks HQ, free reign, right?
So zombies is my game mode, and I'll, if my friends score it for zombies, I'm a Game Pass subscriber. I'll get it through that and play.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
And I'll just plug a fucking controller into my computer.
Well, anyway, that was a great diversion. But let's get into the section we call "Inform the Players." We tell you about what happened this week in PlayStation. Now, Max, we haven't touched upon it in the news doc, but I want to ask you about it. Was there anything that sort of like jumped out at you at Gamescom?
Yeah. So I pulled up last week's news doc that has all the fucking Gamescom announcements. Because
I thought it was a really good show. It was a really good show.
Okay. 2K smashed it. They had what, Borderlands 4, Civ 7. Fucking, I'm so keen for Civ 7. It's just not even funny. What's her name? Gwendolyn Christie as the narrator for Civ 7.
Yeah.
They're changing the entire gameplay system where essentially you can, instead of just going through the ages now, when you hit each different era, you can be like, I'm going to change my civilization. Fuck it. I don't like these people anymore. I'm just going to change.
You know what? Fuck the Greeks.
It's like, you can be like Greek until Renaissance, and you're like, I'm Macedonia now. Fuck it.
Yeah, it'd be like, go until they create like the, aqueducts or whatever, and like brilliant, fantastic. I think that was the Romans anyway, but like fantastic, done. Skip them. Now I'm heading over to Egypt.
And then you get to them on there, and you're like, Russia, let's go.
Space race.
It looks amazing. I'm so excited for it, and it's coming out in February. Like, that's dope. Love it. I give 0 fucks that Indiana Jones is coming to PlayStation. We just don't care.
No, I want to play it because I like machine games, but like,
I've never seen an Indiana Jones movie. I don't care.
Actually,
at all. I have no care factor for this game whatsoever.
It's funny you say that. Like, I've been thinking about this recently, right? It's been a while since we've had, like, for a while there, we've been watching sort of, myself, Phoebe, Craig, and we've been watching like movies. And we did all the Fast and Furious. We did the Lord of the Rings. I'm like, we're like, what's the next one? I've always wanted to watch Cheech and Chong. I'm like, that was funny. And there's like 5 movies. That could be a laugh. Planet of the Apes was on discussion today. Police Academy was another one because they're knowingly bad. And like, they make me laugh because they're shit. And they aged so bad. But now that you mention it, I assure you I've seen at least one Indiana Jones, but I'm pretty sure my recollection of Indiana Jones is like the first 3 crammed in a one movie. It's like, for me, I've seen all the Austin Powers movies, but in my head, 1 and 2 are just indistinguishable.
Yeah.
So like maybe Indiana Jones might be my next one, especially leading into Golden Circle next year.
Unknown 9 Awakening is cool. I've been following that for a while, and getting a release date in October is cool. It's a Bandai Namco published game, which will be cool. Dying Light the Beast, having Kyle Crane come back as a standalone, what was going to be an expansion, they're like, fuck it, standalone game.
I love it because that doesn't interest me at all, but when I watch that trailer, I'm like, Max is probably going to shit themselves.
I love Dying Light. Dying Light is such a fantastic series. Space Marine 2, we spoke about before, looks fucking crazy good. What was it? The first Berserker of Kazan looks great. It looks like a Souls-like. Looks right up my alley. That was probably about.
Reanimal looked pretty sweet because it looked like more Little Nightmares, but different. Little Nightmares look cool, as I mentioned, but like, I don't think those style of games really like sing to you.
And obviously, Little Nightmares is great. And obviously, Monster Hunter Wilds was a big one, but that seems to be everywhere these days.
Yeah, but not the next house, next Dark Pictures, the Expedition, whatever the fuck.
Expedition 8020?
Or 2080 or something?
2080?
I think 2080.
Those 4 numbers are in there.
Could 2008, who knows?
Look, some of those Dark Pictures anthologies have been really hit and miss. So we'll see.
I agree.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Cool. Let's kick things off as we always do with some Sony news. And this week we got the September Essential games that are coming out. What is it? Next Tuesday, I guess. First up, we have Harry Potter Quidditch Champions coming to PS4, PS5. MLB The Show 24, PS4, PS5, and Little Nightmares 2, PS4, PS5.
Actually, a rip a month.
Bang a month.
Oh, yeah. Like, MLB The Show rules. I love it. I reviewed it for Player 2, a good, Padgett, our good friends over there. My first ever Metacritic review. Game fucking rules. Little Nightmares 2 rules.
Incredible.
Yeah, so good.
Incredible game.
Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. We don't know yet.
Remains to be seen.
But obviously, you being you're a big Potterhead.
They've changed the rules. They've taken what is the rules of Quidditch and went, fuck it, it's dumb.
Okay, explain to us, mate.
Because obviously the biggest problem with Quidditch is
it's like why the fuck the quaffle get the snitch?
The game doesn't matter. Just catch the snitch.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're watching two people out in the car park fight, and whoever wins the match.
Yeah, you pretty much.
So in this, it's first to 100 points wins.
Or snitch.
Catching the snitch is only worth 30 points.
Oh, I like that.
First to 100 wins.
Actually, that's true, because I mean, even the old Harry Potter games where you have the opportunity to play Quidditch, they're like, what position? I'm like, give me the fucking Seeker, because why would I ever want to do anything else? Like, unless I get to bludgeon someone, with a bat, which is pretty sweet. But like, quaffle, get fucked. Like, woo.
Exactly. It's like, do I want to be meaningful, or just does it not matter?
And look, not to make it. If you already, if you're like, oh, I never thought about it that way. Watch the movies. No one gives a flying fuck about the rest of the Quidditch team. Like, they go to the big honking match in, with all the tents and the Death Eaters rock up. What are they doing? Watching the Snitch Man.
Watching the Snitch Man.
Seeker. I just said his name a second ago. Seeker. But yeah, obviously, look, I'm keen for that. I like that the rule. Yeah, I hadn't paid that much attention to it, but I noticed like the rule.
They dropped a video like 2 days ago.
I was very much like, I'll wait and see.
That makes sense.
But like that's pretty exciting because like this is, with Hogwarts Legacy not having Quidditch, and they're like, oh, we're going to release like a side thing, right? So like, don't worry. I guess. But,
I'm hoping this becomes my new Rocket League.
That would be pretty fun.
Because apparently it plays as a 3v3 and you control 2 characters each. So I don't know how that works. but yeah.
Maybe it's like an area, like a proximity thing. Like, in the same way that when you play FIFA, you can like fuck between whoever's nearby.
I guess.
All right, that's, speaking of, just things, that's a bad segue. PS5 Pro. Let me just quickly jot down the time. Former PS Plus leaker turned general insider Bill Kuhn. Now, what was Kuhn means friend, yeah, or like Mister?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. He does seem like my friend, especially after this news. Has shared a sketch of what they believe Sony's rumored PS5 Pro console will look like, having seen quote a visual of the front of the final packaging. I love this. End quote. I love this. Editorializing for a second. They're like, we don't want to share the picture because PlayStation are gonna fuck us. So here's my artistic rendition, and it's like. Oh, it's so dumb, and I love it for that reason.
It's like, here, I drew the front of PlayStation's package.
Yeah, it's like, I love it because he could have just done like, he could have just done like that. And I'm like, oh, that's incredible. It's just like a box that says PS5 Pro. But no, like and then in
the bottom corner it says AK ready.
Yeah, but like they'll never explain why. What it can do. So they've stated the upgrade box is indeed called the PS5 Pro, and the official reveal is expected to take place, quote, in the first half of September. And we're in September now, so let's see where that goes. It is heavily speculated Sony also has a state of play lined up for this month also. As for the leaked design, appearing quite similar to the current base PS5 Slim model, it continues the all-white design on the outer casing, but there are 3 black stripes have been placed in the middle section. So with that little gap in, where you got the 4 plates of the PS5 Slim, they've expanded it and they've given a couple extra layers. It kind of looks like an accordion, like one of those done for but also aligns with like the multi-stack of the PS4 Pro, because it looks like a big sandwich. As opposed to just the one on the current console. According to what the leaker has seen, the PS5 Pro design is also quote, slightly thicker, end quote, and editorializing, hot, than the PS5 Slim. And it doesn't come with a disk drive. However, the outer panels look similar enough to the PS5 Slim to suggest that the existing replacement covers will fit, and we suspect, this is from Push Square, we suspect it will be compatible with the external disk drive accessory as well. Discussing that in a moment. They go to claim the PS5 Pro will ship with a standard DualSense controller, and the usual 2 USB-C connectors and power button will be located centrally on the system. Lining up with other speculation and insider claims, it's just that the PS5 Pro will officially unveiling in the first week of September, as was highlighted earlier. A couple of things. I like the design. It aligns with what they're doing with the Slim. If one of the biggest concerns would be if people have spent all this time and effort into creating custom plates or buying these colored custom plates to then go, yeah, it's not going to fit this one now, suck a dick. So like, I'm glad they've not done that. I'm glad they've made them interchangeable in some capacity. Disk drive makes sense. Like, they don't need a pro disk drive. It's a fucking disk drive, right? So if it's set up in such a way that you can go buy one off the shelf, which you can for this, like you do for the Slims, that's the sound of me taking inside off and putting the disk drive in. And then suddenly I've got a disk drive. Thumbs up, win, success. That makes complete sense. And in short, it would also reduce the ticket price for the PS5 Pro because it's going to be a bitch. Now, Max, even with now that you've seen an artistic rendition, drawn way better than mine, thankfully, you still not interested?
No, look, games aren't optimized as it is, so having a beefier system is not going to help that much. I didn't upgrade to a PS4 Pro. I doubt I'm going to upgrade to a PS5 Pro. Like, between not having the disposable income that I used to have and all the other things, it just doesn't seem necessary.
Yeah.
Like, it really doesn't.
Yeah, I'm in a middle ground, and like I know a couple of weeks ago I'd be like, nah. As like we're getting more info on it, I'm kind of going. And like, because originally I went from the original PS5 to the Slim because at the time with work I was traveling a lot more. So I was in a state at least once a month, and I was there for like 4 days. So I'm like, I got to take my PS5 with me. That seems to be happening less and less now. So the idea of like, oh, I have the Slim for this reason. The reason I have the Slim is no longer needed. And I'm like, well, if I'm not traveling as much, why the fuck? Like, let's fuck with the PS5 Pro. Let's see what could happen. Like, granted, most games run pretty well, and it's not like a huge problem, but some do, some are a bit poo, and I like new tech, and it fills me with dopamine, which I enjoy. So, like, I'll think about it. Like, I'm not going to rush to get it.
And you'll thoroughly enjoy getting 2 PlayStations for the price of 3?
Yeah. When you put it like that, it only explains how much of a ripper deal it is. But it's one of those things like, do I keep the Slim? I could have a Slim down here, but that's fucking stupid. Why would I need 2 PlayStations? I'd probably
what you need to do is your son needs to get a job to buy a PS5 so he doesn't have to keep playing that peasant PS4 that he's got.
Well, that's also a good point. Yeah, it's a very good point too.
All right, paid early access. I love this story so much. So increasingly we're seeing publishers incentivize their expensive deluxe and ultimate editions with early access. All these bundles generally include additional items like DLC and cosmetics. Many fans buy them because they're excited to play an upcoming title as soon as possible. That's certainly been the case with Star Wars Outlaws, sitting at $110 US for the gold edition. I think it's $140 here.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Which has been available since Tuesday, the 27th of August. The problem is, however, Reddit is currently awash with correspondence from Ubisoft asking fans to restart their save files. According to the French publisher, players may encounter game-breaking bugs if they continue their progress after the early access period, and thus must ensure they update their game to the newest version.
Correction, it is $169.95 for the gold edition.
Okay, it's $170.
Jesus Christ.
So players may encounter game-breaking bugs if they continue their progress, and thus must ensure they update their game to the newest version to start over to avoid any potential problems. Quote, if you continue on a prior save, you will unfortunately face issues and progression blockers, end quote, the email reads. While it's obviously a good thing that that Ubisoft has caught this issue fast and contacted players immediately, it does render the point of paying extra to play early quite redundant. There are a handful of fans on Reddit who already made significant progress in the game and are now facing the prospect of starting all over again now that the early access period is over. To be fair, the company has acknowledged this isn't, quote, the best experience, end quote, in a follow-up email. and is pledging 100 Ubisoft Connect points and a Trailblazer trinket to ease the inconvenience.
Now, looking at like my emails, I don't think I haven't received it yet.
Because we didn't like buy it, and it's linked to our Ubisoft account, I guess.
Yeah, but
we'll provide the code.
I log in with my Ubisoft account, right? Like,
I suppose, yeah.
Because obviously we get it through the shared account, the PopC account, the one that we share together, and then I can play it through allows us to both play the same game at the same time. I'm just doing a quick scroll through my deletes because I probably would have gone delete. Here we go. Star Wars Outlaws. Experience the first.
And apparently it is just a PS5 issue.
Okay.
I don't know. It seems. Yeah. Imagine paying an extra $80 to play the game early, only to be like, you need to delete your save and start again.
Look, this is like
fucking livid.
Yeah, this is the line. Like, this is a fucking line, right? Like, there is nothing worse than having your save getting messed with, and especially when it comes to an early access title like this, right? The reason that you were willing, or like the royal you, not you specifically, Max, the reason that you would buy a gold edition or this fancy edition is because I am such a fan of this franchise, of this game. Like, I'm so excited for it that I want to like dedicate, a bunch of extra days to it, that I'm going to pay more money. To then like shit in the face of those people. Now, I also wonder if I haven't received that email, you haven't received, like, we haven't received that email from from Ubisoft Direct, might I add, from a review code standpoint. We haven't got that email. So what about this game is so fundamentally broken? Like, I understand that, when a new update comes out, like, you update it, and then you can't play a previous update,
I'll play a previous build.
Previous build. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word build. Thank you. Like, you can't, you can't, go backwards on the file, whatever, right? It's like, that's cool. That makes sense. But what is it? Like, are these progression? Like, what is the bug that is so insane that it can do all these things? That it can like just completely disassemble your save. And yeah, as I said, like, you are pooping on your hardcore. And as Ubisoft are most definitely the most egregious when it comes to their various editions. This many minutes early access and this and that and the gold and silver and the ultimate and the penultimate and the, like, all these various things, clearly they see value, financial value in them. But when you're then impacting those that are willing to pay, the hell is wrong with you?
Me?
No, not the royal you, once again.
Okay. Because I pulled
your chuckling is valid, and I agree.
I'm sending you a screenshot because it looks like there's like a fucking god ray coming through the window above you, just like shining across your face.
Hang on, loading. Let me see my face. All right, Max, talk Outlaws. Like, where do you sit with this, obviously?
It's fucking gross.
I do. Oh, I look pretty. Look at that. Hang on.
Look, to have something, to have early access to something, to give, to allow you to play it early, and then for them to turn around and be like, hey, there's a game breaking issue that if you don't update and you continue, or if you update and continue to play on your previous save, you're going to hit progression blockers, so you cannot progress further in the story. It's kind of shitty. The appropriate response, I feel, should be like a partial refund of like, hey, this is what you paid for early access. We will credit that amount, even if it's a credit to like
Ubisoft
account. So they're still gonna recompense, like they're still gonna get that money back by you going, I have to spend it on Ubisoft.
Yeah, because then like when Assassin's Creed Shadows rolls around, you'd be like, oh, well, I've got the credit. I'll buy it through the Ubi account. So that, therefore, like, Sony ain't getting 30%, Xbox ain't getting 30%, Ubi's getting all the money, right? Like, it would make sense, but
yeah.
But they gave you a little fucking shitty thing for your bike, Max. Don't you feel better?
No.
It's like when Optus like just threw my data at people and then went, here is $10 data, and you can't like stack it or share it, and you have to ask for it. You can't just get it. Companies are dumb.
Yep.
So short answer, don't pre-order games.
No, don't pay for early
advance editions. Yeah, here we go in the chat. Shep's here. Fuck Optus. Yeah, fucking Optus. I agree.
Fully compatible, Ryan.
Hot.
Sony has published a new PlayStation accessories app for the PC that allows DualSense Edge owners to access the entire suite of features the high-end controller has to offer. Available to download now, it's a redesigned application that used to work as a firmware updater for PS5 controllers on the PC.
Oh, yeah.
The DualSense Edge has always been compatible with PC, but through the new app, you can now create, edit, and switch between custom profiles, just like on the PS5. A quick video demonstration post on Twitter, you can see the ability to customize button assignments, a thumbstick and trigger dead zone adjustment option, and then the chance to tie those specific settings to custom controller profiles. This way, you could quickly change how the DualSense Edge operates when playing a competitive shooter like Valorant, as opposed to a more standard feel when playing a single-player game. As well as new features, the refreshed app also sports significant improvements to the overall design and its user experience.
Now, you love a good Edge.
I love good Edge. Mine is right here.
Do you fuck with the profiles and stuff?
I have 4 profiles set up on my PS5. It's essentially, there's 3 for different first-person shooters and 1 for standard gameplay. So generally, it's just swapping thumbsticks with face buttons, stuff like that, and then obviously setting jump and either melee or crouch to the other back paddle.
See, it makes sense once again from like supporting a PC space, like whether it be for yourself on your PS5, like hey, I want to build these profiles, sick, done. You can put it onto the controller, I assume, take it to your console. But for people that like want to buy like a controller for their PC, you're probably going to spend the money. You're either going to get yourself the Xbox Humdinger, whatever the hell it's called.
Elite.
Yeah, I think it's the Elite. And then you've got the PS5, the DualSense Edge, like you're probably going to spend them because like the batteries in them is pretty poo. But you're sitting at your desk like you are, you just plug her in and you don't worry about it. So like having that level of intricate support through a PC, big win. I myself have never been a major user of like fancy pants controllers, mostly because they're expensive. And 2, I'm not that like, tinkery about it like yourself.
Yeah.
However, when I got the back button attachment for the PS4, did have some fun with that. And I did quite like the Razer Raiju controller that I mess with. I do quite like that. But not enough to be like, ooh, fuck with the dead zones or, the triggers. I do like that. You're able to change the push through of the triggers. It's a big fan of that. We can't have time my Riddlin's wearing off, right? Because I'm trying to think of the word press.
Well, I just remembered there was one other game that I played this week that has a discussion just as good as Black Ops 6.
Please.
I'm gonna quickly throw it in here. I rebooted up Destiny 2. Okay, so Act 3 of Episode 1 Echoes came out this week. And with it came the new exotic mission. And they're like, hey, to do this exotic mission, you have to have finished Act 2. I'm like, okay, I haven't played Act 2. I better do Act 2. This is what I did in Act 2. Went to Hub Zone, talked to NPC. Went to planet, scanned object. Went back to Hub Zone, spoke to NPC. Went to different Hub Zone, spoke to different NPC. Went back to planet, scanned another object. Went back to Hub Zone, spoke to NPC. Did a mission, Act 2 done.
Are you sure you're not playing The Elder Scrolls Online?
In 20 minutes, in and out, quick adventure. I'm just like, because Noodle messaged me. He's like, hey, let's do the exotic mission. I'm like, I can't. I've got to catch up on Act 2. He's like, oh, me too. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it now.
It's bummer. Yeah, let's see what it's got for us.
I did it. It took me like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And then I sent him a message. I'm done. He's like, are you kidding? I'm not. I went to point A, to point B, back to point A, to point C, to point A, to point B, to point A, to point C, to mission, to point A, done. Shot like 3 dudes.
Really took advantage of your Destiny DualSense Edge profile, all the ducking, weaving, and jumping, and back button to communicate with NPCs.
At least it didn't make me fucking dive to the right and shoot a moving target.
Oh shit! All right, now I'm gonna butcher this dude's name immediately. 30 years of service. Hideaki Itsuno.
Yep, that's it.
Has announced his departure from Capcom after 30 years since he joined the company. Itsuno is perhaps best known as the guy who got Devil May Cry back on track. He directed the awesome Devil May Cry 3, and that's editorializing from Push Square, but I assume you agree because you're a big...
Oh, yeah. Devil May Cry 3 is spectacular.
Yep. And the much more recent, and more recently, the superb Devil May Cry 5. Can confirm that game rules.
And it runs in 120 frames.
Smoothly. It's beautiful.
It's so good.
He also brought us all a Dragon's Dogma and Dragon's Dogma 2. That's more of a you thing.
Dragon's Dogma 2 was incredibly good. Dragon's Dogma did not age well. Don't play it now. Dragon's Dogma 2 is mint.
Yeah, play 2 instead. You know? As he pursued his dreams of recreating tabletop fantasy in the video game form. Needless to say, Itsuno's been a big deal at Capcom for a very, very long time. His credentials go beyond those two more modern properties, of course. Itsuno co-directed PS1 banger Rival Schools along with Power Stone. He also directed Power Stone 2, shock, and Capcom vs. SNK 2, Mark of the Millennium, 2001.
Power Stone's great.
Thank you for your long-term support of the games and characters I have been responsible for, the 54-year-old writes on his social media accounts. I hope you will continue to support Capcom's games and characters, they add. Itsuno goes on to confirm that he's moving straight to a new project. From September to 2024, I will start developing a new game in a new environment. I hope to create fun, beautiful games that are as memorable as or even more memorable than the ones I have created so far. Please stay tuned for my next creation. End quote.
He literally spent more than half of his life at Capcom.
It's redonkulous. Mute in the chat jumps in and goes, Tail said he wanted to do another Rival Schools, but Capcom said no, but they're porting its sequel. So, Max, this individual is, obviously, as you mentioned, there's a couple of the games that are highlighted here do sing a chord to you. I'm genuinely impressed by someone working somewhere for 30 years, especially in video games. Like, holy shit. Normally it's like...
Not in Japanese companies.
Yeah. The way Japanese companies treat their employees is either garbage or brilliant. And, I love it when it comes to people who never really retire. They just kind of get put into a cupboard somewhere and given, a shit easy job. I love it. Love that. Big fan. Because apparently, they don't fire people, period.
Yeah, it's not quiet quitting, it's quiet retirement.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you are slightly useful and we don't want to fire you. Can you fuck off into this broom cupboard? And I'm like, yeah, sure. You're going to keep paying me? I'll do whatever the hell you want me to do in this cupboard. It's like, you ever watch Silicon Valley? The TV series? Yeah, you know how Big Head and the crew, they're like, we bought your company and we bought you because we're hoarding you from other places, but we don't want to use you, so go hang out on the roof. But it's good that he's still wanting to step out and be more creative and continue. But yeah, Max, where are you at with this?
It's cool to see that he's going to continue working. But it does raise the question of why now? Is it something that Capcom's we don't want you working on that, we want you working over here? Are they doing? Have they, as a company, just gone in a different direction that he wishes to go? Because obviously he's like, I'm not even taking a break. It's September now. He's like, I'm in one door, out the other. Out one door, sorry, in the other. He's like, can't stop, won't stop.
Look, but it's one of those things. Maybe with the idea of he's 54. 30 years in the one company, and he's been working within the system, and and clearly he enjoys the system, right? But maybe it's one of those things where, like, you know, I've got one game left in me, right? You know, games take 4 or 5 years. I'm 54. I'm going to be pushing 60. This is my last go. So, like, why not make the exact game I want to make? Like, that's the way I'm looking at this. Like I said, I don't know him. I don't know how much creative freedom that he's been given in the past. But if it's a circumstance of I can really just go to town on this, it's probably a good reason to go take that step. You know, why not? And like, once again, with an individual like that, with a resume like that, with a legacy like that, I can assure you there'll be people beating down his door to come and work on his new project.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, quick biddies. I don't know if I should read the second one. I'll let you be the judge.
No.
As we mentioned earlier, if you have collected the new special bots in Astro's Playroom, they will carry across to AstroBot to give an early head start. The Lies of P sequel may be heading full open world akin to that of Elden Ring due to job listings.
Well, actually, obviously, you quite enjoyed Lies of P.
Lies of P was great.
The Pinocchio's,
but it was very linear comparative to it was much more like the earlier Dark Souls where the game was fairly linear, but you could open up.
See, to me, it felt Bloodborne because stylistically, it was very Bloodborne.
Yeah. So to know that they're already working on a sequel to that is cool. The ending definitely left room for like, hey, this is where we're going next. It very much looked like they were going to do like a fairy tale thing, which was cool. Because I'm spoiler alert, if you don't want to know, the ending to Lies of P came out like a year ago. Like either.
Dude, speaking of like, let's once it's referencing sacred symbols. I know it's like, you know, referencing a different and better PlayStation podcast. Like in one episode, like one of the characters makes this joke about the ending of Lies of P, where they're like a uncryogenically frozen like Walt Disney comes out and you got to fight him. Wait, is that it?
Well, no. So
because the joke was like that's not it, but people got really mad at him. But
there's clearly what is. You're led to believe a female character running across rooftops, and they've got ruby slippers, and they tap their heels 3 times.
Ooh. Wait, legit?
Yep.
Like a good Wizard of Oz reference? That's cool.
Yeah.
Fuck, that is kind of cool. Oh, like a Soulspawn in the in the Land of Oz. That's kind of fucking cool. Like really cool.
So,
I wouldn't play it because I suck at those games, but I like the idea.
Yeah. And Crash Bandicoot 5 was cut in favor of more live service games because that's what we needed.
Yeah, probably that Crash Bash or whatever, the not Crash Bash.
I can't believe it's not Crash Bash.
Yeah. Faux Crash Bash, you know, faux trash, Crash Trash. Yeah, look, it's tough, right? And I understand Activision were probably in a tough position because the Insane trilogy fucked. Like, it was brilliant. It sold exceptionally well, but obviously it was fueled very, very heavily by nostalgia. And then Crash 4, It's About Time, released, was pretty good, but nowhere moved as many. So I think they're like, okay, well, let's do this. But once again, in a business standpoint, you know, companies like Activision that are publishers and there are also, you know, when it comes to some of their fiscal decisions, clearly intellectually disabled, they're like, let's give more live services because everyone has time. No, they don't, idiots.
Borderlands 2 is currently free on the Epic Game Store.
Oh, sick!
If you have Prime Gaming, like Prime Gaming, I do
because I got it for Prime Day and I haven't cancelled it yet.
Borderlands 2 is free currently if you claim it.
Oh, I wouldn't mind playing Borderlands on PC. I'd probably have a lot of fun on PC, I reckon.
Yeah, I claimed it.
I like how during this show you're like looking at like while we're recording, you're like, I'm gonna fuck around.
I've got like 30 notifications on top of my fucking Twitch stream.
Oh, okay.
And they're all fucking Prime deal.
Oh yeah, because mine's like connected to that. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Do you have a list of games this week, Max?
Don't. I'm sorry.
Rad.
I looked. I've got my picture that I put in our chat.
All right.
Yeah, let me find that. Just give me like 2 minutes to fucking scroll back past all the bullshit.
Also, I just like genuinely exploded. So I got a notification on my phone, like Jem, you know, our good friend Jem, you know, former Young and the Restless host, just just tweeted, shared a post on Facebook. Apparently, BCW, Battle Championship Wrestling, based out of Victoria, have just announced that Kurt Angle will be attending Battle Championship Wrestling 60 in October. Holy shit. I am fucking going to that show. I need to meet the human thumb that is Kurt fucking Angle. Holy shit. Oh, and it's true. It's damn true.
All right. You all ready for this?
I am now, because fucking Kurt Angle, bro. Like, it's already cool that MXW, one of the companies that I work for, is bringing over Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish of Undisputed Era, of WWE, of AEW, is coming to fucking Geelong to work a show that I get to commentate on. That is dumb, and I'm so excited. And then now I possibly get to be in the same room as fucking Kurt Angle, an Olympic gold medalist who won that gold medal with a broken fucking neck. Like, dear God. Oh, yes. I mean, yes, I'm quite excited to see Kurt Angle.
Cool. Upcoming games this week.
Oh, you got some, sweet.
I've got some. Surprising no one, Harry Potter Quidditch Champions is releasing on the 3rd.
Oh, yeah?
Along with Parcel Core, the casting of Frank Stone.
Parcel Core, is that like, is this one of those things where it's like, the cottage core, or like, this new fashion? What's fuck's package core?
It's like CORPS.
Oh, that's less exciting. I thought it was like, core as in CORE, like it's a new like style.
It's the Parcel Army. The casting of Frank Stone is also coming out on Tuesday the 3rd.
Okay.
With the PS5, that's the Dead by Daylight guys solo game, single-player game. And then on Friday the 6th of September, we have obviously AstroBot and NBA 2K25.
Oh, also, I got an email. Like, do you want to play it?
NBA?
Yeah. Sure.
Yep, NBA and Madden are my 2 sports games, and FIFA. It's the 3 sports games that I play. Yeah, that's it for this week, I think.
Woo.
According to this list that I have. Age of Mythology is coming out on the 4th, which I'm super excited for. It's not coming to PlayStation.
Oh, I really liked Age of Mythology.
Yeah, so Age of Mythology Retold's coming out Wednesday the 4th.
No, obviously we can't express our opinions on AstroBot just yet. Thursday, 10 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. But obviously that's probably the big game for PlayStation this week. Quidditch Champions, obviously another doozy. With the PS Plus stuff. Sure. We can't, we can either say we recommend or we don't recommend it. We are aware of it, is pretty much where we're at the moment. All right, well, big thank you to everyone for checking out the show. It was fun. Thank you for returning, Max. It is literally not the same without you. It's just not even close. This episode fucking ruled. I had fun last week, but this is just next level.
That's good. It's next level to be back.
Cool. Let's get out of here.
All right, everybody. This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to take part in future conversations with us, you can come and check out our socials: Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and X. All of those links can be found in the description below. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopculturist, where you can watch us record the show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation Pod. If you are listening to us on podcast service, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you watch us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, or comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculturist, as well as our merchandise store, popculturist.com/shop, where you can buy shirts, other sort of shit with our logos on it. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson. I'm Max Cooper.
And that was for the players. And remember, Thursday, 10 p.m, YouTube, podcast services, AstroBot review. Get it up here. All right?
Spoiler free.
Oh, spoiler free, and then spoiler one will come later. All right, bye.